thrice and followed by Asatoma Sadgamaya mantra and Sadashiva Samarambham. Those who know, you please join me. Otherwise, you will pick it up in no time as well. Take a comfortable posture. Eyes are gently closed. Inhale. 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 Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. The text that is chosen for this retreat is Prathasmarana Stotram. It comes under the category of a Prakarana Grantha, a topical text. Shankaracharya has given us number of great literary works of Vedanta, commentaries on Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita and Brahma Sutras, which are together called as Prasthanatraya Bhashya. Apart from it, he has also given topical texts like Viveka Chudamani, Upadesha Sahasri, Prathasmaranam, etc., which are independent works focusing on a particular topic or many topics. In the text Viveka Chudamani, the topic, the main focus is on Viveka. How to ascertain what is real and what is unreal. Focusing on the real is Viveka. And this text, Prathasmaranam, is a very short, meaningful, a loaded text which talks about contemplation, nididhyasana. To reach the goal of Vedanta, which may be called as self-realization, or moksha, or freedom, or liberation, there are three mukhya, or the main fundamental sadhanas. Suppose you were to go from place A to place B, so you have a main transport, mode of transport, you may call it in a context, flight. That is the one which essentially takes you from place A to place B. But in order to reach the airport, you would need a car or a Uber. So that becomes the secondary sadhana or the secondary means to accomplish the primary goal. So the mukhya sadhana means practice, mukhya means main. The mukhya sadhanas in Vedanta are Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Shravana, as you all are familiar, is listening with attention, with an open mind and an open heart to what Upanishads have to say. And what a teacher of Vedanta or Guru, sometimes in the modern times people are allergic to the very word Guru, so you have to use teacher. It seems odd, but Guru. what Guru unfolds is just the vision of Upanishad. So listening and absorbing it is Shravana. Manana is dwelling on it. The one example through which you can understand Manana or reflection is a cow eats the grass and keeps some amount of it in its cavity, or I don't know, whatever is the mechanism by which it again pulls out that grass into its mouth, chews on it and absorbs all the juice out of it. So chewing and extracting the meaning of the words of the Upanishad independently, that is Mananam. Nididhyasana is absorption of the entire vision, making it your own. If you observe in the Vedanta circles, people keep talking. It is said like that in that Upanishad. It is said like this in this Upanishad. It is quoted like that in that Upanishad. I would say this is the way to see, because Bhagavad Gita says so. Finally, we have to ask that person, what do you have to say? Fine, Upanishad says this, Bhagavad Gita says this teacher says this Guru says this, that Swamiji says this Swamiji says that, he says it like this, she says it like that. Okay, what do you have to say? We forget that. So the whole focus is internalizing the vision, making it your own. Not always approaching it with a distance. So that is Nididhyasana. That Nididhyasana is enabled through, to start with, contemplative practices like morning meditation. Pratah means morning. Smarana is something that you bring into your memory or your attention or focus in the morning. That is Prathasmarana. What is to be contemplated in the morning. So these three verses essentially are Nididhyasana verses, which helps you contemplate, which helps you absorb the vision of Vedanta. Just like the Indian sweet, Rasagulla, so you have the ball of paneer and then you put it in the sugar syrup, or just like jamun, you fry the dough ball and then put it into the sugar syrup, and it has to stay there, dwell there for some time, and then it absorbs all the sweetness. And now you cannot say which is sugar syrup, when you take it out, which is sugar syrup and which is Rasagulla. You cannot separate it because it is absorbed the entire, it is made its own. That's what is Nididhyasana. Making it your own and transforming yourself. So what is transformation in Vedanta? Is it just some superficial personality development sorts? No. Spiritual transformation is Vedanta is essentially giving up the entire ego. The total identification with the ego is given up, and then you come out of it, come out of the bondage of your own personality and the ego, and come to recognize, understand, feel your essential nature, which is Sat Chit Ananda, or Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So these verses help us to contemplate on the vision of Vedanta and in its absorption. It is very essential. Vedanta, the pursuit of Vedanta without the practice of meditation will be incomplete. It will be all talk, words, 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 all the time. So Nididhyasana is very important for us to sit down, gather our thoughts, gather ourselves, and to focus on what we are essentially seeking and trying to absorb that entire vision on our own. The text goes like this. I'll chant it and you may repeat after me. It's in page number 13 in your handouts. Prathasmarami Hridi संस्फुरदात्मतत्त्वं सच्चित्सुखं परमहंसगतिं तुरीयम् यत्स्वप्नजागर सुषुप्तमवैति नित्यम् तद्ब्रह्म निष्कलमहम् न च भूतसङ्घः। Adi Shankaracharya starts with a very beautiful phrase, Prataha, early morning. You know, the mornings are magical times. Swamiji, I'm not a morning person. I need 2 Starbucks coffees to wake up. But essentially, if you observe the whole nature, it's a magical time. The birds start singing. The flowers blossom. The leaves spread themselves a little more. There is sun, the dew drops, silence. All the wonderful things in the nature starts at the Prataha, morning time. It's only human beings who are lazy to wake up. The birds are so sensitive, even they know the sunrise time, they already start, they're ready, they're singing so happily. And then if we were to have the practice of playing Kausalya, Supraja, Ramapurva, Sandhya, Pravartate in the morning, and people say, hey, stop it, it's annoying. We don't want to wake up. Why? You have to face all your problems. And all the problem may be next to you. You have to face that. So we don't want to begin the morning. We want to be in the blissful ignorance of sleep. Not knowing anything. Not feeling anything. Nothing to be done. Nothing to be thought. So we seem to like that state. But nature goes the other way. Of course, it rests very well in the night. Plants reverse their entire life process. But then they start at the beginning of the morning to do what is to be done, never losing sight of what they are here for on this planet Earth. But then humans are so reluctant to even wake up. Prataha, early morning time, has always been recommended for spiritual sadhanas, especially from the Vedic times and the entire Bharatiya tradition, Indian culture. Not only that, you look at the Jewish tradition, they also have morning prayers at the dawn. Look at the ancient religion of the Egypt, which worshipped Ra, Re, as sun. Their whole prayers essentially used to begin with the rise of the sun in the morning. You look at any religious tradition, across cultures, across geographies, they used to utilize the morning time for contemplation. But unfortunately, our lifestyle in the US is so difficult in the morning. There seems to be no time left to do anything in the morning, how much ever early you start. So I was in San Antonio recently, last week, and then one of our ashram families, they were telling, Swamiji, my youngest child, she's in elementary school and her school starts at 7. The elder one has a better timing. So kids don't have mornings, parents don't have mornings, adults don't have morning, nobody seems to have any time in the morning. But I would say, if you are truly interested in spiritual formation, spiritual transformation, you would find time. We always find time for what we love the most, what we like the most. We find time and we can give our attention to what we like the most. There are no excuses to be made. I mean, who are you making excuses to? Guru? Nobody cares. Of course, the Guru is very, very interested in the spiritual formation of the Shishya, but Guru is not forcing any sadhana upon you. So who are you essentially giving excuses to oneself? So if one is truly interested, one can find 10-15 minutes, how much ever busy one's morning is. And one can find, I think, one can find it. Because Pratah is a magical time. You see what happens? We are in the deep sleep during the night hours. Deep sleep is tamas. The body has slowed down. The system has shut down. Because of tamas, all the mental activities also go down. You're not operating the way you're operating in the waking hours. So there is tamas, which puts you to sleep. And again, at the beginning of the day, during the sunrise, there arises sattva and rajas in the body, because of which you wake up from the sleep. And then as you wake up early in the morning, there is still the residue of the tamas, but after a hot shower, then that tamas vanishes or is washed off, and what you have essentially is a great sattvic disposition. So any spiritual sadhana or deep thinking can happen in that space of sattva. Rajas is starting. Rajas is that which helps us be active, to go out, to be extroverted. It is very essential in life. Another essential component is also sattva, which puts you in a state of in a relaxed disposition, which enables you deeper and higher thinking. So that space and disposition of sattva is to be utilized for one's own contemplation. So the recommended time for meditation is either at the beginning of the day or during the sunset, because again you gain a sattvic disposition. Rajas is decreasing, there is sattva, tamas is not yet fully set in. Evening time. But I would say if you decide to meditate even at 11 a.m. or 12 noon, nobody to stop you. But recommended times, that's all. That doesn't mean that you should not meditate in other times. One can meditate anytime, just meditate, it's okay. So Pratah, early morning. And in our Sanatana Dharma, early morning is symbol for the dawn of knowledge too, because sun is the symbol for jnanam, knowledge. So Pratah, the early rise of the sun, is also compared to rise of knowledge in oneself. So that's why Pratah, Prathasmarana. Adi Shankaracharya is saying, early morning I recollect, I remember, I bring my focus on to. See, it is to be cultivated. What you focus on early in the morning. Of course there are tasks. Of course there are tasks to be done, things to be done, errands to be run, many things to be done in the day. And we will make it happen. But also it's important to also remember, focus and pay attention to the grand life goal in the mornings too. The grandest goal, what one is essentially seeking. You all are here because you are seeking a something more than mundane. Because it was all there, you need not come. So that what we are essentially seeking in life, we should never lose focus about. When we lose focus on it, then life becomes overwhelming. Life becomes tiring. You get frustrated when you lose sight of the bigger picture. You see, when an artist is painting a painting on a large canvas, he or she is starting from one corner. The whole canvas is to be developed, the painting has to be developed. The artist has the vision of what it is already in the mind and heart. But if it is an onlooker, he or she doesn't know what the artist is going to paint. Throughout the artistic journey or throughout the time the artist is painting on it, the onlooker will be wondering, what is it all going to lead to? There are only lines, there are strokes, there are colors, there are dots. What is it all? Is there any meaning to it? But then the artist knows it and finishes it, and then the onlooker says, wow. Wow, I could not see it. So when we do not have the vision of the whole, every stroke, every dot, every line, every turn that happens in life frustrates us. We think it has no meaning. All this journey is waste. All our efforts are futile. We tend to feel like that. But if you are focused on a bigger picture, everything, whatever is happening, makes sense in life. If it doesn't make full sense, at least you have the ability to accept it. So that's why it's very important early in the morning to remind ourselves of what we are essentially seeking. We are very much reminded of what we are seeking in general, on the surface level, what we are seeking. Today I am seeking to complete these tasks. Today, now, I am seeking to drop my daughter to the school. I am seeking to pick up my son from the school. I am seeking to finish these office tasks. I am aiming at seeking to finish these chores. All for what? All for what? If one question if we put, we are reminded ourselves of deeper aspect of life. All that I am doing all of it for what purpose? For roti, kapda, makan? For just food, clothing and shelter? We seem to have it already. Then what for? Oh, for my daughter's education. What for? For her future. So that future for what sake? So that she is comfortable and happy. So what? So that I am happy. So essentially what we are seeking in and through all tasks is happiness. If we realize that, all the pursuits make sense to us. All the pursuits will have a place for themselves. And all the pursuits will not frustrate you when you know what you are essentially seeking is happiness. But you are using a limited means, a sadhana or a task, to arrive at that happiness. And if you examine, not every pursuit, every seeking, every task will give you happiness. Sometimes it goes the way you want or leaves you frustrated. Or even if it were to give you, you cannot sustain it all the time. It is agama painaha, it comes and it goes. You cannot retain it all the time, but you are seeking it all the time. We are essentially seeking it all the time. Vedanta points us this fact of life, this philosophy, this teaching, that this happiness that you're seeking is not in tasks, not outside of you, it is within. Prathasmarana Stotram, in my own heart. What? What is it that I'm bringing it to my memory? What is it that I'm focusing on? What is it that I'm reminded myself of in the morning? Sphuradatma tattvam. That effulgent Atma Tattva, one's own essential nature. So in and through all the tasks, we seem to forget one essential aspect of life, which is ever present in all tasks, in all situations, in all three states. What is it? What is it? It's you, or the feeling of I. That I amness is ever present. It's ever present in all tasks, in all three states, while sleeping, while waking up, in dreams. It's ever present, but we hardly pay any attention to it. So I bring it to my memory, my focus, what? Sphuраdatma tattvam. That shining light in us, which is helping us talk, hear, listen, think, eat, digest, breathe. What is that essential nature of us? What is that factor? What is that principle? What is that tattva, essence of all which is ever present? I bring it to my focus, I bring it to my memory, or I am reminded myself of the teaching of the Vedanta early in the morning in my own heart. Hridi samsphuраdatma tattvam. You see, that which is obvious and present, we pay least attention to all the time. Space is ever present. If you were to count what all the things that are there in this room, you never count the space. So what is most obvious, we have least value for it. That's what happened to spirituality, Adhyatma Vidya in India. It is so obvious, it is everywhere, so we stopped paying attention to it. Yoga was everywhere, it was everywhere, we stopped paying attention to it. Ayurveda was everywhere, we stopped paying attention to it, and a US company thought of patenting turmeric. And then World Yoga Alliance thought of making an alliance and then have a say of who is a real yoga teacher. So what is obvious, we miss it. So this Vidya, Adhyatma Vidya, if we ignore, furthermore, after 5 years, a lot of consciousness studies are going on, somebody will patent this Vidya as ours. Reminding oneself of one's own true nature. If we lose sight of it, life becomes chaos. You become disoriented. You lose the purpose of life. Things, people, situation around you will stop having any effect on you. You become numb. You just are a zombie, a robot, performing one task after another, as if entire day or entire month is pre-programmed by somebody. That's how we live life. To break out of this mechanicalness, to break out of this kind of a conditioning, what we have to realize is our own true nature. Because our whole focus is only on body and mind, it keeps you engaged with the mundane world, and some things go right, some things go wrong, and you are left disoriented and purposeless in life. See, I'll give you an illustration. Just now, after this class, if you were to take your car keys or keys of a car and just start driving. Okay, there is fuel, just start driving. First 5 minutes of the drive, oh wow, such a beautiful Pennsylvania area. 10 minutes more, nice landscape. 15 minutes, where shall I go now? The question pops in the mind. Gas is full and you are free. You can drive wherever you want. You go further, half an hour, 45 minutes. You start getting frustrated because you do not know where you are headed to, what you are doing. So when there is no grander vision for life, this is how exactly your life experience will be. Gas is full, car is at your disposal, you are on the driving seat, you are on the wheels, you are controlling it all, but yet you are frustrated. Why? Because there is no goal, no bigger goal. There are only small goals. Anybody can accomplish that in today's world. What's the big deal about it? You put some smart and hard work, you gain few things. You compete, you get a position. You push few people or push yourself harder, you run few extra miles in a corporate career or a business or family life. There's no big deal about it. But Vedanta points out a larger goal for life, which is discovering true happiness and peace within yourself. Upanishads wastes no occasion, Vedanta wastes no occasion to again and again point out the essential goal of life and essential nature of Atma Tattva. What is its essential nature? That Atma Tattva I'm going to contemplate this morning. Sat Chit Sukham. Its nature is Sat. That which is ever present. That which is ever present. What is it that which is ever present in your life? Swamiji, my wife. Swamiji, my husband. Or, what is ever present in our life, in the most beautiful situations, even during the most wonderful meal, even as you are wearing most beautiful clothes, even while you are playing with your grandchildren or children, or with the dog, what is ever present? Atma Tattva, yes, that is fine, but this chatty mind, ever present, a dissatisfied element in you, a complaining self, a dissatisfied self, a frustrated element, an incomplete element is ever present, waiting to come out. Waiting to come out. You think it is because of the situation you are irritated? No, it is because there is a irritated person in you, it is coming out in a situation. You think the situation is making you frustrated? No, there is a frustrated mind which pushes some thoughts. I often suggest this experiment or sadhana for everyone. Lock yourself in your own room, take out all gadgets, sit with a glass of water and just be. Just be. You'll see 15-20 minutes you get irritated for no reason, you get bored for no reason. And who is to blame now in this situation? There's no other. So it's a good occasion, an introspection, to see and notice that the cause of all problems are not outside, it is myself or my own unhandled mind. So it's very important to recognize there is something deeper beyond all these layers, beyond all these frustrated states of being, frustrated state of mind. And what is that? Atma Tattvam. And what is its nature? Sat, that which is ever present, that presence, that you are. unquestionable presence. That you think upon it, meditate upon it, recognize it, recognize it. It is there, but you just have to cognize, recognize that presence which is ever there. Chit, what is that presence? I am. And is it something jada? Is it insentient presence? No. For yourself, you know that presence, you know that you are. You know that you are. There is a presence. And you are conscious of that presence. That is Chit. Sat Chit Sukham. Upanishads say, this presence, if you truly understand it, inquire upon it, and explore it, understand it, it is limitless. It is limitless. And Upanishad, elsewhere in Chandogya Upanishad, says, what is the definition of happiness? How can we understand happiness? Because we always understand happiness as a feeling or sensation that has come about when a sense organ is in contact with a sense object. Only then you call it happiness. Isn't it so? Agree or disagree? Agree? How many of you agree? That's the general understanding of happiness. Sense organ comes in contact with a sense object, or you as this sensory being comes in contact with a thing or a person or a situation. And that configuration, you call it happiness. But Upanishad just calls it pleasure. That which a sensation, feeling which comes for a duration of time, for a period of time, but just fades away. Just fades away. Upanishad says, so what is that happiness? That happiness can never be limited things, limited sensation, or configuration, or a configuration or a state of mind. Only when there is particular configuration, it is limitless. It is limitless. Now Upanishad is pointing us to explore and go towards something that is limitless. The whole of Vedanta is an inquiry and exploration. You get introduced to a new concept or a new teaching paradigm in Vedanta, do not just nod and accept. Go towards it. Explore it further. Okay. Limitlessness or limitless. Do I have any understanding of it? Can I appreciate it? Is it just an abstract? Is it just a philosophical abstract? Or is it real? Is it a real category? Or is it something real to me? Can I make it real? Go further in this direction. So how do we explore limitlessness? Parikshya lokan. Mundaka Upanishad says, Parikshya lokan. Do the pariksha, examine the world. Examine your own world. Do I have something which I can call it limitless? Coffee, limited quantity. Money, limited quantity. Anything you see, anything you can touch in your life, anything you can see is only limited. So how do I discover something limitless? Is it there? Now, Upanishad gives this mode of inquiry. Okay, let us start examining one after the another. Coffee, definitely limited. That feeling, sensation that comes when you take a sip of coffee or keep on taking sips of coffee, is it limited or limitless? Again, limited. The feeling that I get by engaging with my son or daughter? Limited. Himalayas, looking at them, limited or limitless? How long can you be there? How long can you look at it? Limited. Grandson, so beautiful, right? Granddaughter, so beautiful. Why not keep looking at them? Why not have a limitless experience in that? We say, no, enough. Very nice restaurant you go, course after course are served. Here I have not come across as yet. In India we have many, like 18-course meal, 7-course meal, 21-course meal, very, very popular now. So, but at some point you say, one dish after another, you are served. You say, enough. Enough. Limited, even that engagement with the dishes, even though you have money or even though you have already paid for the entire 22-course meal or whatever it is, you still cannot limitlessly engage with it in terms of time and space. You come out of it. Or pick anything in your life. You see that you cannot limitlessly engage with it, and you see that it starts in time and ends in time. It starts in space and ends in a particular point in space. Everything is limited. So how do I explore and appreciate limitless? Upanishads or Vedanta is all the time telling us about Ananta. Ananta, limitless. How do I appreciate Ananta? I would say, pay attention. Ananta, limitless, is ever present. Ananta, limitless, comes to your picture, comes to your notice the moment you say enough. You get a glimpse of Ananta the moment you say enough. You see, you say enough not out of when you say enough, not out of frustration, but out of thinking and understanding. And Upanishad calls it Vairagya. You have a glimpse of it when you stop engaging with the limited and say enough and pay attention to what you are thinking, feeling, or what is happening within. This presence, Sat, which is ever present, which you are conscious of, you come to understand the only limitless thing in time and beyond time and space, which is not coming into the category of time and space, is only this presence, which conscious presence, which is constantly there, no start and no ending, no start in terms of time and end in time. In space, it is ever present. That alone is limitless. There's no limit to this sense of I. It's ever present. So that the whole approach becomes different. The Vedantic living, Vedantic approach, sadhana, becomes so different, where you are no more focused on the limited. They are anyways there in the world, not so hard to get. If not today, you will get it tomorrow. If not tomorrow, maybe day after tomorrow. If not you, your son or daughter will get it. It's okay. So the whole shift now takes place through the enquiry of recognizing Sat Chit Sukham. That existence, consciousness, and limitless happiness, which is ever present, you come to recognize and you contemplate upon that early in the morning. And Adi Shankaracharya now goes on to explain it further through some more terms. He says, that existence, consciousness, limitlessness, Satchitananda, Satchit Sukham is Paramahamsa Gati. That is what is the goal of all the sannyasins, Paramahamsas. So here sannyasis are the representations for spiritual seekers. It doesn't mean that it is the goal of only sannyasis. Then in Arshavidya Gurukulam we would say, Thanksgiving retreat, only sannyasis allowed. If this goal was not available to everyone, it is available to everyone. But in a poetic representation or in a context, it is presented as the goal of sannyasis. Yadichan brahmacharyam charanti, Upanishad. For what purpose they take these big vows? For what purpose they leave their homes? For what purpose everything known is given up? What goal is that? That goal is Satchit Sukham. Paramahamsa Gati. Paramahamsa means sannyasi. Gati means goal. That aspiration, that understanding that all sannyasis are looking forward to. And Upanishad also calls it Turiyam, the fourth. So whenever this word Turiyam comes, there is a lot of confusion about it. People think Atma is the fourth state. The states that I know is waking, deep sleep, which some of us are in, or dream state. We know these three states, and Atma is the fourth state. So like waking, dream, and deep sleep, one fine day when I keep on doing Vedanta sadhana, I'll get the fourth state of experience called Turiya. It is not that. Turiya means that is that which the fourth, or that which is in and through all three. That which is in and through all three states. As you are awake, you know that you are. Even in your dream, you are. And once you come out of the dream, you know that it is you. You were there and the dream happened. And even coming out of deep sleep, you say that I slept well. So this I, the presence, existence, consciousness, awareness, limitlessness was ever present in all these three states, which is called as Turiyam. So the same, what I explained is now further explained in Sanskrit. Yat swapna jagara sushuptama vaiti nityam. That which is present, that which is shining, that which is the witness of waking, dream, and deep sleep. Nityam, constantly. All the time you are a witness to your own waking state. Agree? You are aware of your entire waking state, isn't it so? I mean, some of us are so mechanical, we don't know what we ate for breakfast. Okay, what was for breakfast today? Good. So you're aware of your waking state. And then when we remember dreams, we know that we were in dream, and then you are present. You're witness of the entire dream state too, and the deep sleep as well. And this witnessing awareness is ever present, Nityam. And Adi Shankaracharya now is making contemplative assertions. What is that? Tad Brahma Nishkalamaham. I am that. The Upanishad always points out to Brahman, reality or Satchit Ananda, as that, Tat. Something to be explored further. Something not to be believed in. Something not to be just nodded and accepted. Always kept for an inquiry, open for inquiry. I am that Brahman, Tad Brahma, Nishkalamaham. I am that indivisible, blemish-free, I am that whole. Everything in life that I see has parts. The only indivisible whole, without parts, without blemish, is I, the existence, consciousness. Look for parts in it. How do you examine it? Take a moment to see if there are any parts when you have this sense of I. Body, yes, definitely parts. Mind, part. As if multiple personalities. Anything. But just pay attention to the feeling of I. The presence. Is there any parts in it? Is there any blemish in it? No. Very, very, if I want to use the word, very practical teaching. We all the time want practical teaching. So I'm not convincing you to believe in something that you do not know of. That you are. Tad brahma nishkalamaham nacha bhuta sangaha. Advaita is always with a negation. The very word Advaita is in negative connotation. Nacha bhuta sangaha. I am that consciousness, not this body. Not this body. Body is what bhuta sangaha. Bhuta means elements. In the traditional philosophical Indian model, so they looked at the division in 5 parts. Agni, Vayu, Apaha, etc. Pancha Mahabhutas. So the body is just a combination of 5 elements. Modern science also has a model of 1 or 2 elements or 1 or 3 or whatever is the current number. I go to Harvard chemistry department only to take a cup of coffee. I should ask the scholars there next time how many elements currently in the periodic table. So model of understanding, not absolute. For now, this is how we see the world. So body is looked upon as a configuration of these 5 elements. I am not that. It is impermanent. I am something substantial, meaningful, deeper than just 5 elements combining themselves together, which come about, and once the body dies, the 5 elements go to its Mahabhutas also. Comes about, body comes to configuration, it's impermanent, it goes away. But I am something deeper than that. Brahma, tad Brahma ahamasmi. Satchit sukham ahamasmi. That is the contemplative part of this whole shloka. So to sum it up, Acharya Shankara is asking us to pay attention to our mornings to start with, to have some contemplative practices, to charge our day with, and to remind ourselves of our own true nature. If we remember, if we recognize, if we can appreciate our own true nature, essential nature, all the other labels, all the other names and things that we carry will never be a burden, because you know what you essentially are. And all other things that you play in the world are just roles in a situation. Nothing of it is real. What is real is only my essential nature. And that I am ever present as a witness to everything that is going on in my life. To start with, as a sadhana to practice, what you can see is that you are a witness of everything. You are just an observer, a silent witness of everything in your life. May you keep on paying attention to that. What we do is we pay less attention to it and we become more reactive and all the time, so you lose that gap. So pay attention to you being the witness ever present, which is ever there. That's the way to go about spiritual contemplation. So That's the shloka. We will recite once more and end the session. Prathasmarami Hridi samspuradatmatattvam Satchit sukham Paramahamsa gatim turiyam Yat swapna jagara sushuptamavaiti nityam Tad brahma nishkalamaham Nacha bhuta sangha Tad brahma nishkalamaham Nacha bhuta sangha. Yeah. So let us take a moment to chant one of the Shanti mantras. We are the privileged few in the world of conflicts, wars, so much disturbances, yet there is this grace, blessing to take this time to be here, to contemplate, to think about something higher. When people are thinking about basics, food, clothing and shelter, we have the privilege to focus on something else in our life. Families are safe, food is provided, we are in a nourishing environment. Let us recognize that blessing, be grateful, and also pray for the same for the whole world. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Yeah, so we will have some more introductions during the satsang. And yeah, I will be taking today's satsang. So if you have any question, please take a piece of paper and the pen, and you can put the questions there. You can put your name, and if you don't feel comfortable, you need not put your name. It's up to you. And you're also welcome to ask question spontaneously. And if my answer seems unsatisfactory, you can again stand up and bring it to my attention, a question to follow up with. So that satsang, we will have some bhajans. And Swami Sachidananda ji has a book on Prathasmarana Stotram. So my idea was to give it to you all on the end of the camp, but Swami Sachidananda ji suggested that the books to be given to all the attendees on the day one itself, so that you can take your time to read and dwell on it. So so please take one book per family if couples are there. But if you feel the need to have your own personal copy too, you're welcome to have one for yourself. I think we have enough? Yes. Okay, yeah. So the suggestion would be to take one for family, so that people coming later in other camps also can be benefited. So that's the one, yeah. Okay. Would you like another bhajan? Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Yeah, if anyone of you would like to meet me personally, there is a meeting room near where you put your coats and the footwear. So you can meet me at 1:15. I will be in the room. So there's some waiting area too. So you can sit there and take turns and meet and personally have the conversation. I would like to meet you all too, know you personally. That would be nice as well. Those who want are welcome to meet me at 1:15. That's all. Let us take a moment to meditate and remind ourselves of the teachings that we just studied. Take a comfortable posture. Eyes are gently closed. Inhale. 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 Just recognize the conscious presence that is. Because of its presence, you are able to hear. Swami is able to speak. On this foundation of conscious presence, the body is built. This is the very essence, the very structure. Recognize that. Has no color, no shape. It's just ease. Prathasmarana hridi samspuradatmatattvam Satchit sukham Paramaham gatim turiyam Yat swapna jagara sushuptama vaiti nityam तद्ब्रह्म निष्कलमहं न च भूतसङ्घः. With this recognition, let us naturally go by the day, never losing the fact and the vision that I am ever present. I am witnessing everything that goes on. Om, Om, Om. Slowly and gently, you may open your eyes. Om Tat Sat.